Now, from time to time, Amy and I do the dueling top 10 lists. I like them. I think they're cool. Yesterday, I was driving down the road, and you haven't been feeling good, so I wasn't going to ask you to do that in the middle of the day yesterday. I had to race last night. I said, you know what? I'm going to do my top 10 list. I'm not going to tell you anything. And as I did my top 10 list, it dawned on me that your top 10 list is not going to look like my top 10 list. Our number one is obviously the same. But
how do you know? You looked?
I don't have to look.
You
I know.
cheater.
If it isn't the same, then you're sick. And I don't mean physically. I mean mentally.
Mm-hmm.
I did think that our top 10 lists were going to be different. So now this was done a full day after my top 10 list. And I never told you a word or said anything. I'm looking at, what does matter? Mine's already done.
So?
I'm curious to see what your top 10 list is going to look like. So you are doing the talking here.
No.
Shoot! Number 10.
No, you need to interject with your comments.
Oh, interject with my useless, boring comments?
My top 10, my 10 spot is Ride in the Rodeo. I've actually never even, I don't think I've ever gone with this horse. But she's always present.
Your list?
She's competitive in every set that we go in, and I don't think she really makes any mistakes. So
she's been a nice filly, and I'll tell you as we go along, she did not make my top 10 list, so I'm right away. But
and I do have to point out that I don't generally put a lot of pacers on
and that's
my
just
list,
that's just your personal preference. I get that.
100%.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because they have a much steeper hill to climb.
I don't think they do. You see them climbing a steeper hill. I think the competition, regardless of speed, I don't care about the speed. The competition's the same.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter whether you go to Ohio, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Ontario, New York, New Jersey. They might go variations of speed, but it's tough racing. Whether it's a pacer or a trotter. Yes, your pacer has to go. If you think you're going to Kentucky with a 2-year-old pacer, unfortunately and sadly, you have to pace 49.50 now. That's what you have to do.
They don't make the same
and
mistakes
even
that trotters do.
Yeah, and that's true too. So I too, I'm no different. I lean towards trotters, but I enjoy a very good pacer. I had a lot of fun driving. Time is on my side. It's 3-year-old season. Really, really enjoyed doing that. So I do lean trotter also, but not as far as you. But I do lean trotter, and I do think that Ride the Rodeo.
What is she wearing?
She is her. Yep, it's not very good. Nope.
At least she made sure the door was shut.
She did. What about a hair tie? You don't need one you're going to cut your hair off? We got scissors at the barn. I can cut it off. No? Go back in and get a hair tie, you dodo. Yeah, you do. We got to make your hair look pretty.
I got one right here. Look.
Oh, Mommy's got one. Don't be lazy. And pull your pants down over your boots. You look like a hipster.
Don't. Oh, you're an a-hole.
You don't say those things.
I didn't say it. Oh, look at the look you got.
Oh, yeah, because she knew you were feeding.
Okay,
all right.
sorry,
number 10, Riding the Rodeo.
Number 9. She deserves to be up higher, but I liked other horses. Tomboy Strong's at number 9.
Tomboy Strong's at number 9. Okay.
Again, same kind of situation. She doesn't usually train bad.
She's never trained bad.
It doesn't matter where she is or who's on her. She trains good.
The only reason I lean towards her now is because I had a real bias and I had a bad taste in my mouth from the brother last year.
Yeah, but if you go back and listen to all those videos, I said almost every time because I went with him a lot.
He never did have that snap speed.
Yeah,
he never
but you
had
were
it.
like, oh, it doesn't matter.
No, I never said it doesn't matter. I said when push came to shove, he would choose to be a good horse. And I was wrong. He chose to be a bad horse, and he was really good at it.
Sorry.
Would you want that put on a t-shirt or something?
Yeah, I do, actually.
So Tomboy Strong is nothing like him. She does everything better, faster, quicker, stronger, and with the right attitude. That's what I like about her. Easy, number 9. Addie.
And she literally wears a pair of trotting boots and probably doesn't even need to.
Correct. Yeah, just a bridle and trotting boots. Yeah, honey?
We didn't want to go to the barn.
Oh, so we're in the midst of right now, actually. It's not done yet, but we're putting a complaints box in, and you guys can fill out a complaint every time you don't like something. Then you can put it in the box. Is that... But it's just not... We didn't build it yet. We didn't build it yet. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. What about your hair? It looks like a bale of hay. When's the last time you brushed your hair? You look like a bum. All right, sit there and be good. Number 8.
Number 8 was Emerald Tom.
You know what? I don't think he made my list, and he should have. I just, there's something, and every year we say this, and it sounds, people say...
Is it because he's a long Tom? I actually have 2 long Toms on my list.
No, I don't, and I won't say I don't like long Toms. Slim Jimmy was a tremendous animal for us, but we had a lot, the reason I don't like some of the long toms is because they look good until they aren't. I don't play nice ruined long tom for me.
No,
almost.
the other colt too. That
Who's the
big,
other one?
really nice colt that we had last year.
I don't remember
My
his
dad
name.
owned him.
I don't remember.
I know.
Hmm.
The big, huge guy at the far end. And
I don't even want to think about it. I don't know who it is, and I don't care.
Name?
His name was Horse isn't here yet. Horse isn't here. Horse isn't here now.
Okay,
Your
anyway.
name was Gorgeous Package.
No, it wasn't.
She's a good filly.
So
Emerald Tom he's just a really,
I've
really
never
nice
even
horse.
trained that horse.
I don't think I've trained him. Maybe once.
Yeah.
But he's such a nice horse to watch go too. I like that Joey, he ended up winning on the front easy for Eric, and then Joey came first over, ground myself. I forget who I had, but
He's
ground
always first over that horse.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
But he doesn't seem to care.
No, he just keeps going.
Okay, let's make sure there's no cars coming.
Ava sprained her ankle and needs. Yeah, she did. And she needs to have.
No car. Yes, car coming.
Yeah, that's the other
Oh,
way.
Dad likes to run into cars.
I didn't run into anybody. So here's the thing. All right, you see the road behind us. This is a very quiet neighborhood. It just seems like every time I go to back out on the road, I look quick, and the one time I don't look, there's a car there. Now they're going 5 miles an hour. They just came around to turn at a stop sign. But I usually get a little polite honk. And today I didn't get anything. And the guy wasn't mad. But I put it in drive and I drove away and I look in my rearview mirror and there's a car right behind me. Like not feet behind me, but he was clearly there when I pulled out of the driveway.
Okay,
So
anyway.
thank you for bringing that up.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
Okay, number 7 is Jailbird Jog. She deserves to be up higher than this.
I
but
would think so,
anyways,
but anyway.
Um,
Speak up, please, for the camera.
I've always liked her. She's got a really, really like gritty attitude. She wants to do her work. She even on jogging days, like she wants to. She's almost
She likes
too
it.
on the bit on her off days, more than I would like to see.
And that's a trait of tactical landing.
Yes.
It was funny because we bought 2 horses that day. It wasn't moments apart, but it wasn't that far apart. Maybe within a half an hour. And they were both the exact same price and the exact same consignment. Do you know who the other one was? Oh, you don't know.
Are you talking about Xena?
No, not talking. We didn't buy Xena.
Oh yeah, she got sent to us. Jailbird Jog.
Who's Zena?
I took the picture of the 2 fillies. I was holding them both right there. Both the exact same size, looked the same price, same consignment, half an hour apart, and I was holding them
I
both.
thought it was Degas.
It was. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Degas, as they started to train down, I thought maybe Degas, it was going to be the movie Twins, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, but I like the way Degas come on the last 3 weeks. She looked good. Yes, honey.
Every time on the iPad, I keep seeing you right by a blue bucket or something.
What?
Like a video?
Oh, you see.
No!
What do you
A blue
mean?
bucket.
Yeah, where it gets a picture. Like someone took a picture.
Oh, I took a picture and added it to my thing.
YouTube?
No, I was
No,
told.
on pictures.
Oh,
I'll show her. Anyway.
okay.
So number 8 is Jailbird Jog. Number
No,
7.
number 7.
Number 7 Jailbird Jog. Number
Blue
6.
Rare's number 6.
Number 6 Blue Rare. I'm surprised you put her on
I
your
know,
list.
actually, yeah, well, I probably wouldn't have if she didn't train so good yesterday.
Well, because I told you she's the best trotter of the burn.
Yeah, tell me that in June.
I won't have a problem telling you that in June. She can fly.
Okay.
She wears a bridle and boots too. You
I
just
know.
touted about your other horse there.
Yeah, well,
All she wears is a bridle and
she-
boots. I gave you one that's faster than her that wears a bridle and boots. You're like, tell me that in June.
yeah, but she doesn't
She doesn't what?
have a bad attitude.
She doesn't have a bad attitude. She's a great attitude. She's just a big, stubborn filly. And if you're training her, if you're training Blue Rare and she thinks she can get ahead of you, she will in a heartbeat. She'll try to creep out, pull up a little bit like she did on someone else I know very well. Or she'll do things stupid or act up. But when she knows it's time to go and she knows that she's not going to get away with anything, she is all business. That was a hell of a mile yesterday. And she was coming to you going down the lane.
Are you done?
Anyway, number 6, Blue Rare, should be number 1 or 2, but whatever, number 6.
This is my list.
Yeah, it's absolutely, listen, number 5,
And
there's only one horse.
Personality has to play a role.
There's only 1 or 2 horses so far. 1 for sure, maybe 2 horses on your list
And
that
we
I
have the
didn't have on
same?
mine. Yeah, I did not have ride the
You
rodeo.
said they were going to be so different.
Well, you've gone with 5 and 2 of them aren't on my list, so it's fairly different, I think.
Where are we at? 5. Aunt Sarah.
Yeah.
No, 6.
No, number 6 was
Again,
Blue
another
Rare.
horse that I literally have never even jogged. But she's always in the mix, and she's always in the... I don't want to say that we classify them We don't really.
I try to put them together on whether it's pacer or trotter, how competitive they're going to be, how they'll be, and then I also have to try and suit the drivers, right?
Yeah, but we also want to challenge.
Challenge the horse. That's why Blue Rivera was doing pacers yesterday, because she is so good. I put her in with pacers yesterday.
Thank you for that. So yes, actually, yeah.
Actually, yeah.
No, I'm just
Aunt
saying.
Sarah
I
is an
actually
expert.
put Bobby at 4, based on work ethic and attitude. I probably should have switched them because Bobby has a lot of mental growing up to do.
She hears voices.
And I know myself, because I go with her every single day, that there's a lot of speed in there, whereas I haven't ever even jogged Aunt Sarah.
Yeah.
So I feel like
And what's cool about that, what you just said is, excuse me. What's cool about that is they're both Ohio bred fillies, so they're both going to see each other very, very often. Now, they're going to be separated in the stake races, but these are fillies they're going to train down, and hopefully these will be two fillies that we'll be looking to see which one of them will be in the next generation.
Well, then you got Tomboy Strong, too.
And Tomboy Strong, too, yes.
Is that's what bothers me about Bobby, because when push comes to shove, you're going to pick the horse that's more mentally stable.
No, I'm going to pick the horse that is hopefully going to get us to the winner's circle.
Let's say their speed and their talent is the same. You're going to pick the horse that's not going to run behind the gate because...
Well, 100%. I'm going to pick the horse that's going to have us the best chance to win, and that comes down to mental and physical. But you're assuming that February 22nd to June,
I know,
that Bobby won't.
But it's hard not to extrapolate.
I have 0% concern that she is going to be bad. I've seen a million Uncle Peters just like her, and I guarantee you by April we won't be having these conversations. April. Because I think over the next 2 weeks she's going to do it again to you, and then I'm going to go with her for 2
I already
weeks.
told you to go with her next.
And then
go with her tomorrow if you want.
It'll all be over.
But like I said, I can't recreate unless I'm going to take the head check off and make it
That has
money.
nothing to do with that. She has to focus all the time. It doesn't matter where she finds herself. What is that car there? Is that a Tahoe?
Okay.
Ollie was too whiny. He couldn't look and see there's a Tahoe right there. He was too busy whining. Do you want me to get you some cheese with that wine?
Are you done?
Mommy, why are you whining?
Oh, he's whining because he wanted to stay home and play his tablet, and I made him come to the barn.
I'm not
She was
whining.
throwing a hissy fit.
Was she? Yeah.
When was it?
Yeah,
Much
you
like
were.
the Uncle Peter, she decided she doesn't want to throw a hissy fit anymore out here, doesn't she? Okay, who's next?
Number 3 is...
Oh, who's number 4?
Bobby.
Okay, number 4, Bobby, right? I remember. Number 3,
Steady Bolo.
Steady Volo. Number 3, yeah, he's a very nice colt. Now, I didn't see the set yesterday. You saw that set. Jason said, quote, he put a man-sized beating on them yesterday.
Here's what happened.
Okay.
Here's what happened. I ran 2 times
Yep.
and caught back up,
Mhm.
came, and then ended up first over.
Mm-hmm.
And I went by everybody.
A hell of a mile, really, when you think about it.
And then I was at Jason's wheel
Mhm.
in the last turn, and she was ready to rock.
Mhm.
Her left front shoe flew off, hit Jason in the head,
That's funny.
and then she made another break.
Okay.
And Steady Bolo, well, we finished together, and I was on the gallop.
I see that. Well, that's good. Did you ever think to maybe pull her up to the outside and get her to trot again? There's nothing I hate more than people letting the horses run.
Down the lane? You want me to pull out and,
Yes,
and
pull
hit
up.
people that are
Seesaw.
jogging?
There's no one.
You want me to pull up?
Yeah, I do not
At the
want you to
end
let
of
her.
the mile.
100%. I do not want to let you.
Well,
let
I was
her run.
angry, so I made her. I
Well,
let her
then
gallop.
so that is what happened.
I let
It
her
was that.
gallop a little
You pull her up a
longer.
little bit. You seesaw her a little bit. You make her trot and do her work. That's what you do. You never let them run forward. That bird almost slammed into the side of my car. That suicidal bird back there. He missed my car by 3 inches. He buzzed the tower.
Anyway, this was about Steady Bolo, not Bobby.
Steady Volo was good. Steady Volo's been good, and Steady Volo is one of our best horses. Get it? I got it. Check.
Hey, if you're just
Oh, this guy.
if you're
Where is this loon
annoyed
going?
with my top 10 list, then don't make
No, I think your top 10 list is going fine. I have nothing wrong with your top 10 list. Who's number 2?
Number 2 is Go Strong.
Go Strong Hanover. Okay, yeah.
Just another one of those horses. Actually, I went with him a little bit the last week. He's so nice and polite.
He's the
he is
sweetest
the
horse.
complete opposite of Hanger One.
Yeah.
The
So
complete
what?
opposite.
You know, they're both green shoes. He doesn't act like any green shoe I've
And
ever
he
seen.
still is. He's not even
He's still a stud.
castrated.
Nope.
Yeah.
He's still a stud. He's just the nicest.
He's a little
little-
loud in the barn, but otherwise he's.
He's just feeling good. He's just a nice horse. So Go Strong Hanover, and obviously Perfect Thought's your number 1.
Oh,
you can
okay,
tell
go
it.
ahead.
Well, obviously, you can tell everybody about Perfect Thought.
I just. Actually, it's funny because.
Amy went with her, so you tell everybody about her.
Well, I've only the 2 times. I don't get to go with her every week.
She's the horse that I put
Sometimes I
everybody
go-
else. She rarely has the same driver because she's perfect. So I usually put somebody on her. If I have to go with Sweet Lake, whoever was going with Sweet Lake will go. Like Joey will go with Perfect Thought. Jason. I think everybody in the barn has driven Perfect Thought at least once. Everybody. She's the only horse in the barn that has had every single rider in the barn has gone with her. Just because she's perfect and she does nothing wrong.
Actually, I was gonna say because I think that's when it was starting to get a little tacky. The track was starting
No,
to
I was
loosen
in
up a
that
little
set.
bit.
You came first over. I had
Yeah, well,
Blue
that
Rare.
was why
That
I
was much
moved.
earlier.
No, that was set 5. The pace is always set 5. Set 6. And then
Oh,
I
you're
left.
right. It was.
Yeah.
It was getting a little tacky. I'm sorry. I thought it was earlier.
So, I was sitting I ended up at the back to start, and she was just kind of plodding along, and she wasn't really looking interested. So I ended up moving her a little early to the front. And
I
then
noticed that.
ended up. It's hard to gauge her because she's got such a nice big fluid gait.
Yep.
That I didn't realize I think the last time I went with her, I went too fast.
You did. Yeah, that's 2 times you went too fast with her. But that's all right. It wasn't the end of the world. Everybody gets stretched out.
I usually look back. Everyone was around me. It's not like had you by 3 legs.
No.
Oh, you were just mad because you had a trotter.
No,
Is that
I was
why?
right behind you. Millie Girl was on the outside of you coming out of the turn, and you dusted everybody, and then I drove back through the inside and was, I wouldn't say I was gaining
But it's
on
not
you,
like
but
I turned
blew
my
by
whip
them.
around and asked her to trot. I just kept.
No, but she has to be asked too. It's not her fault or anybody else's that she's better than them. They got to elevate their game. We're not going to throttle back Perfect Thought all spring long if she's that much the best, which she isn't. I beat Perfect Thought handily with Sweet Lake 2 weeks ago on a hard track when everybody was still
It's easier for her
pacing.
to be on the front and maintain that position. Sometimes
Well, it is for all the horses. If all things being equal and you're on the front of the lane, they're not going to go by you.
shouldn't.
No. But as I said, she's been beaten. But when push comes to shove, when you really have to dig down, when all of them summon all their talent, Perfect Thought's the one heading over to the winner's circle, so to speak, as of right now. And that's, as we head into March, there's still a lot of training to go. There's still a lot that has to go on. She's just a big, beautiful filly. All she wears is hobbles and a bridle and just gets it done every week. So, I mean, when you have the horses that interfere a little bit, you're always wondering, is it going to be a problem down the line? And with her, there's no problem there because she doesn't interfere. She doesn't do anything wrong. In fact, quite the opposite. She does every single thing 100% correct. So that was your top 10 list. It wasn't quite as different as mine. I thought maybe 2 or 3 horses were different in yours than mine. I like to listen to mine if you want. But I think you're pretty close. I don't think there's anybody. Obviously, Blue Rare should have been number 1 or 2, but it's fine. I mean, listen, I think Blue Rare is a very good filly. Perfect Thought was my number 1 also.
I like
And
how
actually-
you just wipe the slate clean every year. Like muscle masses have literally broke my heart. I don't know how many times.
Gypsy and Dixie was
So-
a nice one.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
She was a nice one, and the year right after that was a nice one too. But we've had some that are just so-so or fair, but those horses were always fair looking. If you go back
paid
and
like
look,
$100,000 for one.
which one? No, I never paid $100,000 for
Oh,
it.
we did.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
Who? You have its name?
Yeah.
Curious. This is where you didn't interject the name.
We just sold her last year.
Alley in the
Brood mare-
Clouds?
Yes.
Yeah, 89,000. She wasn't sound.
American.
Yeah, she wasn't sound.
Exactly.
Well, I can't help that. That's just the way it is. But she was
Same
always,
every single
she
muscle
always,
mass.
you could always tell her knees bothered
Easy
her.
in the turns.
Yeah.
Knees. Do you want
Whoa,
me to keep going?
whoa! Are you're really gonna throw a little easy in the turns
Do you
at
want
me?
me to keep going with the
Yeah,
knees?
absolutely.
The big
Actually,
knees?
I think this is a great conversation. Yes, Easy in the Turns was never the best horse training down.
I know that.
And by the way, just so we're clear, Alley in the Clouds, Easy in the Turns, the 2 that you
I
just
was
threw in my
talking
face.
about two that were
Those 2 that you're gonna throw in my.
Tioga Sunshine.
Hey, are you done? Can I talk? Are you
Oh,
gonna
I'm
go?
getting a little angry.
Because those 3 horses you're talking about all exhibited issues with their knees when? From day 1. From January, February, March, we always were blistering them. They wore head poles. They would run in. They'd make breaks in the turns. They were bothered by their knee problems. So, first off, their knees bothered them. Secondly, they weren't that interested in overcoming. Oddly enough, Tioga Sunshine, those 3 horses you mentioned, were just not good horses at the end of the day also, right? Blue Rare has never shown any lameness, not once on a half-mile track. And she's faster than any of those 3 ever were at this time. So I understand where you're coming from. You're saying, oh, the muscle masses broke her hearts. Listen, there's lots of sires that are going to break her hearts. right? Lots of them. We have never once, and this is an embarrassing fact, but never once have we bought, trained down, and raced a Muscle Hill that did well. Not one time in my life has that ever happened. Now, there's a lot of sires that throw a lot of different horses. There's a lot of bad Muscle Hills. There's a lot of bad Muscle Masses. There's a lot of bad Sweet Lows. There's a lot of bad Captain Treacherous. You can't do anything about that. It just is what it is. The difference between Blue Rare and the other horses is, and this is exactly why I do like her so much, she doesn't exhibit any of the signs. Even Tipsy and Dixie was sore training down, right? She would have her days where she made breaks. Remember, we put hobbles on her? She didn't really need the hobbles, but we put them on her to help her. Blue Rare is the most square-gated, fluid, powerful muscle mass we have ever had. Bar none. Now, the only thing that's who's Chicago Hall by? Muscle Mass? The only issue Chicago Hall had, same thing. He would run in, he'd get out of gear, but he'd do his work. He was fast. He scratched out 70,000 or so last year. Probably should have made twice that. But, again, had issues. My own Gaslight Hall's a good horse too, but knees killed him. Do you see the same? Do you see a trend? You're looking at what you're talking about. You're using it as your argument, but it's actually my argument because all those horses exhibited signs of their knees bothering them. Blue Rare has never. Not one time. Not one time. And we are off track say, she's going to need a head pull. And eventually she wore a Murphy blind for a month and I took it off her. And she went that mile yesterday chasing down that pacing filly with nothing on other than a bridle
sitting here saying
so
she's a bad horse.
I'm just trying to explain to you the difference. You're using the horses as an example that I would use as an example. They just weren't good horses. Chicago's knees bothered him and then they ended up bleeding. Remember, he bled after his first qualifier? It was a problem. Gaslight Hall's tough as nails. His knees killed him. He still went out and got his work done. He trotted in 54 as a 2-year-old. But those are good horses, but they did exhibit some shortcomings from day one. This filly has not. And that is the difference that I'm telling you with the muscle masses. Hold on, honey, I see you. When you look at all the muscle masses we had, even Tipsy, like I said, wore hobbles, she'd get out of gear, she needed vet working too. This might actually be the only muscle mass we've had that didn't show any signs of knee issues. And we continue to work on those. My only concern with her is that mucus that comes in her nose. Sometimes that is also indicative of the muscle masses. That played a role and was a component in Chicago Hall bleeding, I think, as a 2-year-old. So that is a problem, but it is dissipating and she is getting better, and we do have her on supplements for all of the above mentioned. So when I look at Blue Rare, I easily see the most talented muscle mass we've ever had. Right? That's what I see. I just think she's a good horse, and her attitude is indicative of who she is. She'll do her work if you make her, and if not, she might sneak one by you. She got ahead of you last week, but understanding how she got ahead of you, well, that will make it so it doesn't happen ever again. That's why I like her. For the exact same reasons you just used, is the exact same reasons I think she's one of our best horses, and I think she is the best muscle mass we've ever had at this point in training. So there. Yes, honey?
Are we going somewhere today?
We were going to go get a bite to eat after we stopped at the barn to see how the horsies ate. Is that okay with you? Do you have a problem?
No, we were. You said we were going somewhere that we were staying.
No, I did not. No, I did not. I said we were going to go to a restaurant and have lunch. Are you hungry? Because I have these. I don't think I ever let you try those before. Try it. They're amazing. They're really, really good. I knew you wouldn't eat them. There's no shot of you eating them. Something like them. Actually, I think you and I ate those before. What's wrong?
We're still recording.
I know. 24 minutes. I know. I might have got off track. So, that is Amy's top 10 list. It clearly could have been at least a minute and a half shorter, but it isn't. Addie and Ollie do not like the potato wedges things from, what are they called? Quiche, but they're not called quiche.
It's literally quiche.
Yeah, potato chive bakes. They are really, really good if you want to try them. Kate, you stop talking back there. So that is the top 10 list. That is a little synopsis on muscle mass, on my thoughts on Blue Rare, why I like her, why We've had issues with them in the past, and I hope now you also understand exactly how I arrive at the point I do when it comes to Blue Rare. I think she's well bred. I think she is a big, big, strong filly. The fact that she gets around a half as strong as she does is impressive in its own right now, right? Because even when we had all our muscle masses, a lot of our babies, you'd have watched them in the turns. You were smoking with Perfect Thought yesterday, and she was coming to you around the last turn and down the lane.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to ask her.
Well, good news. I'm not going to have to race against you in New Jersey. So that is Amy's top 10. Both of us have Perfect Thought as the Queen of the Castle again this week in our top 10 list. That shouldn't be shocking to anybody. Our lists are a little different other than that, but not as different as I thought they'd be, quite frankly. Your number 1 was the same. My number 2 was Steady Bolo, and my number 3 was Blue Rare. Your number 2 was who?
Go Strong.
Go Strong Hanover. I had him at 8 only because of yesterday, and I haven't gone with him, but I can't wait. I cannot wait to go with that horse. So there you have a little blabbering, a top 10 list, some potato bakes. But you know what? It's a beautiful day here in Ohio. I hope it's beautiful wherever you are. Hope you had a great weekend. And to all my partners, good luck tonight. A big night in Ohio. We've had a slow week in Ohio. 4 dandies coming your way tonight. Take care.